How's it going, YouTube, and welcome to a new video. This is going to be the first video trying to get this channel back up and running. This is a channel I used to have back in the day about 6 years ago. It used to be called Danny ST, but we're completely changing everything now and looking forward to the content that's to come. We're going to be doing reviews, we're going to be doing project builds, we're going to be visiting events, taking advantage that we live here in sunny South Florida. This is the capital for exotic cars and really all other types of cars as well. Any enthusiast here is like a dream. So we'll be visiting all those events and pretty much showing you a little bit of what it's like to be part of the car community here in South Florida. Now today we're going to be reviewing my car right over here. This is my 2022 M240i, and I'm going to give you guys pretty much just a walk around. We're going to talk about the specs, the interior, the exterior, and then drive it, tell you what it's like to pretty much own this car. I've had it for about 3 months, so I think I have a good idea on what its pros and cons are, so we can probably discuss all those things and see if this is the right car for you.
Hop in the car, watch it go vroom, vroom. I told her mom that I blow soon, soon. Know as a child, back in the womb. Oh, told her step back, I need my room, room. Hop in the car, watch it go vroom. I'm in a whip, so I gotta zoom. They tryna talk, they not in the room. I been so real, I'm dead to the tomb. They in the way, they gotta move. I got a gas, they running on fumes. Told them way back, it's something new. It's me and Dan, you gotta choose. I'm taking what's mine, I'm doing fine. Don't see the vision, they looking so blind. I hit my low, I don't got the time. Crossing my T's and he dotting those eyes. Don't take offense if I do not oblige. I can't relate, but like none of these guys. They hit me once and I'm cutting the ties. I was so low, but I'm back on the rise, it's real. Hop in the car, watch it go vroom, vroom.
So starting off with the exterior of my M240i, I have it pretty much spec'd in Brooklyn gray with the 19-inch M double sport wheels on all season tires at the moment. Got to get some summer tires out here for South Florida. The design on this car has always been very controversial. As soon as BMW released this, I guess the community was pretty split between if they liked it or not. So I would say it was about a 50-50 chance, or maybe even a 70-30 that people didn't really like it that much. What I would say as an owner of the car is it's a car that really doesn't do justice on pictures or video. I think you have to see it in person to really understand what they were going for in the design, and there's some little features here and there that you just don't catch on camera. So it's definitely a car that you'd want to take a look at in person to really get a better idea. We have it spec'd out with the standard LED headlights. You also have adaptive optional headlights. In this case, we only have these, but I really like these actually compared to the other ones. I feel like the other ones might not go too much with the design of the car. Then as well, we have the trim that is pretty much like this almost satin silver finish that goes around the front bumper, and then it goes also on the mirrors pretty much. On the back, I'll take you guys around again. We have a Monaco Motorsports carbon fiber rear spoiler. You can see right there, give you guys a better idea of what it looks like. I think it's just perfect for the trunk of the car, just balances it out a little bit. You have your M240 badging, X-Drive badging, of course, and we'll talk a little bit about that as soon as we get into the vehicle. And then you have these two big exhaust tips that are just pretty much artificial, and you have your real exhaust tips in there. Hopefully we'll be changing these into quad tips at some point to just make the car look better overall. And now going into the interior, we have a Tacora red interior, which as you'll see is more of a maroon color, definitely a little bit darker than any one that comes in the M Performance cars, such as the M3 or M4. They have a little bit of a brighter color. As you see, the Tacora red trim continues over here throughout the door. Then you have this very nice like triangular pattern that flows throughout this this front door, and then the passenger door as well. This little panel over here lights up at night. For the 2022 model, they pretty much preset like 5 or 6 colors, which I'll show you in the infotainment system. But for the newer vehicles, they have pretty much like this M color kind of trim illumination that they've included now as standard for the vehicle. Okay, stepping inside, you'll see the Tacora red back seats as well. BMW offers these Tacora red, a black interior as well, a beige, and kind of an oyster off-white, as well as a tan interior for these cars. Personally, my favorite being this Tacora red. I think it goes perfectly along with the Brooklyn gray outside. So in the interior, we don't have the big screen that's going through the new generation models. This one has the previous digital screen, nonetheless works very well, and we'll be going over that a little bit. But yeah, just to clarify that this 2022 model does come with the previous digital screen instead of the big one that goes across the dashboard. Now this car does have a muffler delete, so I'm gonna give you guys a startup and some revs. So as you can see, the muffler delete is a great little cheap mod to add just to get some excitement into the car. Honestly, I would think of adding a full exhaust in the future, but I think the muffler delete is just enough. If anything, just replacing those tips we spoke about earlier. We'll show you over here. This is pretty much the digital screen for BMW. Let me close this door just so we get a little bit of better light. We'll run through the different driving modes. You'll have your tach on your right and your speedometer on your left, which is a little bit different from what everyone is usually used to, your M240 badge at the top. And then you can change the screen behind to map or add just pretty much a blank space over there. You also have to your right, we have horsepower and pound-feet of torque. And if you press this button right on the side of the turn signal, you'll get different information. Right here you have your G's in case you're taking the car to the track. You'll have music. You'll have just your regular kind of setting. This will show you if you're in park, if you're what driving mode you're in. It just gives you kind of that overall information. Then you have your miles per gallon, the total distance, pretty much just your mileage and whatever trip information you want to record. And we go back to the sports screen. Running over here to the center panel, we'll see the different driving modes. We have sport mode, comfort mode, eco pro, and adaptive. Adaptive, basically the car takes the decision based on the driving circumstances of what mode to be. So that's always good to have. The eco pro mode is extremely good for road trips. It'll get this car extremely great miles per gallon. I took it on a 3 to 3.5 hour road trip probably a month ago, and we were driving doing at least average 35 to 40 miles per gallon, which was pretty good. And then you have comfort on top of that, which is just your regular setting as soon as you get into the car, and your sport, which has sport normal and then sport plus, as well as sport individual. The screen over here changes as soon as you change the different driving modes. So we'll go into sport mode, which changes the screen to red. Comfort mode, which we were in, changes everything back to orange. And then your eco pro mode, which changes everything to this nice kind of blue. And it changes the tach on the right over to just your miles per gallon kind of meter on that. So it's always kind of nice to have that as well. All right, so just after a quick look at the interior, we'll go ahead and really talk about why this car is so special. And the answer to that is, of course, under the hood. So let's get under there and talk a little bit about what we got going on. So the M240i has the iconic B58 engine. This is a 3-liter inline six producing 382 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque. It's definitely a very healthy engine, and along with the xDrive that comes with this car, it's an absolute banger of a formula. On the other hand, this might not be for Canadian clients, but your US clients can find this car in rear-wheel drive as well. The xDrive is the other option, of course, and depends on what you like, but we'll talk about that a little bit more once we get in the car. Now, the B58 engine is also found in other famous BMWs, such as the M340i, the M440i, and another BMW that we won't touch on today, but I'll leave a picture here on the screen that also has the B58 as well, and I think is a great engine. We'll talk a little bit more once we get inside the car, so let's not waste any more time and get to it. So getting started, let's go ahead and drive the M240i a little bit and tell you some more information about the vehicle and how it feels to actually have it on the road. We'll go ahead and start just in our regular comfort setting, kind of talk a little bit about that. You, of course, have your automatic start-stop button, which as soon as I activated the comfort setting, it turned off the car. So let's get going. So just starting off, like I said, we're going to start on the comfort setting. This is pretty much where your transmission, your suspension, your engine, your steering, everything is placed in the comfort setting. So everything is just very for your daily driving. It's very easy to work with, and pretty much the car just reacts as just your any regular car. Now, one thing about the G42 chassis and these new 2 Series that a lot of people have been mentioning is that these cars feel a little bit more as a GT car, like a smaller GT car for longer cruises than an actual M performance car, which of course it isn't. It isn't an M2 or an M3, which those cars are of course intended specifically for sport only. So this car is a little bit more for those long road trips. I've had road trips of 4+ hours in it, and I can tell you these seats, for example, are excellent. The car in Eco Pro mode does excellent gas mileage. I would say anywhere from 40 to 45 miles per gallon. That is on the highway with your Eco Pro mode on, so that's very good. The maximum I was able to get from the capacity of the gas tank was 400 miles till empty. So honestly, that was pretty surprising how good it does in terms of gas. Now, there's not too many winding roads here in Florida. Florida is a very straight place, but I was able to find a little spot that we can take some corners and see how she does and how she feels along those corners. So we're going to be going out. We are currently kind of in this park. We'll go out, and then we'll switch it into sport mode and talk a little bit more about what you can customize in your sport settings as well. One thing I want to mention about the G42 2 Series is that it has a very particular issue with the steering. Like, the steering overall is, especially in comfort mode, it's just very numb. There's not much responsiveness to the steering, and that's actually a setting that you can work with here in the infotainment system. You can change the vibrations that the car receives through the steering wheel. So pretty much I think there's like 2 settings for that, which you can switch through and get a little bit more feedback. But overall, the car doesn't respond too well when it comes to steering. There's like this issue when you place the car right in the middle. When you're trying to just have it centered, the car kind of wants to overdo what you're doing and push you a little bit to the left or push you a little bit to the right, but it's for some reason very hard to get that like straightness right. Now, you would think that that's an issue that shouldn't happen, which I guess it really shouldn't, but at the same time, it's something that is very particular to this model, and I haven't seen it reported in like the M340i's or the M440i's, so it looks like it's something definitely more on this side. Let's go ahead and throw the car in sport mode. We have some corners coming up, and see if we can push it a little bit. We'll also throw it into sport and manual. Of course, in good BMW fashion, they throw in the pops. Of course, having the muffler delete that I did on this car, the pops are a lot more prominent, so it's definitely a nice experience to have. Hopefully the mic can pick that up on the exterior cameras, and I'll be editing in the sound so you guys can hear a little bit of the pops. Now, for your steering modes, you'll have several things you can customize. Sometimes you can have pretty much your damping in sport mode and have your steering in just regular comfort mode, or you can combine a Sport Plus engine mode with a normal steering mode. So there's different things you can tweak as you drive. You'll have your damping, your steering, your engine, and your transmission. They all can be set, of course, to sport, which is what we have right now, and it just makes it for a lightning fast shifts. And definitely just the overall response of the car, the throttle response, everything becomes a lot more alive. Taking these corners again, we'll downshift into 3rd gear and do a little pull out this corner. BMW claims that this car can do 0 to 60 in just over 4 seconds. They specify that it should be around 4.1 seconds. But to be honest, just from how it feels and what other tests have shown, this car is a little bit faster than that. So it looks like BMW has been, let's say, tweaking their numbers a little bit, but this is for a good cause in my opinion. So this car can pretty much do 0 to 60 in 3.8, 3.9 seconds with the X-Drive, of course, which is the whole point of having the X-Drive is just to have that extra grip. Now, as an owner to this car, I'll be honest with you guys, I don't really love the looks of this car. I think it's a car that needs to be modded to really get it the right way. So look out for those videos to come, because we're definitely going to be doing some tweaks on the car. We're going to be changing the wheels. We're going to be changing suspension. We're going to be, I think, wrapping the roof as well. We're going to be doing some engine work to it. I don't know how extensive the engine work will go, because this is my daily driver. But we also have a project car in the way, which I won't spoil yet. I won't tell you guys what it is, but there will be a video coming soon showing what the project car is and what pretty much the ideas and the vision are behind that car. Now we're pretty much over here just getting back to where we started the video. I just want to thank you guys for tuning into this first video of the kind of the comeback for this channel. It's a work in progress that I want to really solidify and get it together. We're going to be trying to upload at least once or twice a week. So that's kind of going to be the goal, to have fresh content all the time. Not only reviews, but we'll be doing car events as well. We'll be doing POV videos, and we'll be also building cars on the channel, which I think is going to be the most exciting part, or at least the part that I'm most excited about, and I hope you guys are too. We have a project car coming very soon, so look out for that video to come. I won't reveal it just yet, because I just want to make sure that we can create at least some expectation, but we're going to be having a very nice project car to work on in the near future. So look out for those videos. Thank you for watching this one. I hope you enjoyed the shots that we took, the information that was given. Any reviews, any feedback that you give me, please leave it down in the comments. I'm pretty sure as I post more videos, things will get better and better for the content. And yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Hit that like and subscribe button, and have a good one.
Hop in the car, watch it go vroom.